Welcome back everyone to Sully's Rods and Customs. Today I'm going to change the rear disc brake discs on my 2005 Jeep Grand Cherokee. So what I've done so far is I've just jacked up the back of the car, chocked a couple of ramps under the wheels because you'll take the handbrake off for it, and remove the wheel, starting the right rear wheel. I was going to get these discs machined. I got a bit of a vibration in the brakes, a bit of a shudder. To get these discs, both rear discs machined, it's about $200. Get them taken off and remachined and put back on. But for $200, I got two brand new drilled and slotted rotors for it. All I have to do is once I put them back on the car, take it for a drive, bed in the brakes, and should be okay. If I've still got that shudder, then I'm guessing it's the front, but my steering wheel doesn't shake, just the car sort of vibrates back and forward a bit when I apply the brakes gently. So alright, I'll get into it and I'll show you what we're up to. I'll just put this on a tripod and we'll go from there. One interesting thing that Jeep has, which I've never seen before, is if you have a look on the front right here on this lug nut, I think people call them, or wheel stud, it has this little locking tab. I'm not sure why that happens, because the wheel tightened up against this face always keeps the disc in place, but it's got these little, that little tab thing there. I don't know if it's going to focus because my big hand's there, but like a little pressed metal thing. One was over there, one was down the bottom here, so you just push them on, they go on, and you just turn them off, they just come off like a nut. You can see this thing's gradually screwing off here. You see the gap there now behind it, so you just screw these all the way off. I'm guessing if you've had a car that's been played around with a lot, they're probably not on there anymore, but this is a pretty low kilometre car. It's only had, it only has a, I would have had maybe just over 100,000 kilometres on it now. The next thing I do is I get a screwdriver or something, put down the side, I'll show you where, down the side of the brake pad, and I just lever it out. You can see here as I lever it out, not sure if you can see it, but that pad is gradually pushing backwards and it's compressing the piston inside the caliper. I'll get some light in there, not sure if you can see it in there, but inside there is the actual piston that's pushed back now. So when I put the new disc on there's plenty of room for it to slide and move around, and you can centralize the caliper by doing the same the other side. Don't put it on the pad, just put it on the metal part of the pad, not on the actual braking material. Over the back here, right there where the light is shining on that nut there's two bolts on there, 15mm, I think it's 15mm, let me have a look, sorry, 18mm bolts. So I'll get those off now. Hopefully I can get this torch in here somewhere to show you with a bit of light what's happening in there. There you go. Have a breaker bar on it. Move that hose out of the way. Try and which way down to loosen it off. There you go, it's starting to come loose. I mean, it comes off easy with a breaker bar. I'd imagine it'd be fairly tight if you did it with a ratchet or a spanner. Where's the other one? Down the bottom there. Actually, not that tight. Someone's been playing with these brakes before. Let's see if I can get a ratchet on them now and get them off. Anyway, the old faithful Super Cheap Autos Tool Pro ratchet and socket set. Does the job. It's not high quality gear, but it works for what I do. I don't know if you can see at the back there that suspension buffer is quite damaged over there. I'll get this bottom one off down here. Where is it? Where is it? Alright, slide the caliper off, just rest it somewhere. If it doesn't rest, just put something there to hold it, like a bit of wire or something. There's my brake disc off. This disc has these discs have the drum brake, handbrake inside, the disc surface on the outside. This one doesn't actually look too bad. Anyway, I have the spare for it, so a bit of a inspection of everything while we're here. The handbrake surface looks pretty good on this. Doesn't look like it needs adjusting, not just yet anyway. Here's the disc going on. I'm not sure if they're directional or not. What does it say? Any arrows on this thing? Doesn't show direction. Put it on the other side, it'll face the other way. It doesn't make a difference. Alright. There's that new braking surface on there. Push these little clips on the front here that we had to hold the disc in place. Push them right up, give them a bit of a turn to tighten up, and that kind of holds that disc in place there. Flip the caliper back over, slide it down. I'll just pause that video now. I'll get a bit of Loctite for that. So a bit of 243 thread locker. You can see when this one's had some thread locker on here before. I probably should clean it off, but doesn't really need it. Just a small line like that is all you need on it. Put that on both those bolts that hold your caliper on. Just a little line of it. This must be going off. This must be a bit old. There you go, just a small line of it. Put too much on, you'll never get it back off. And then I'll move this camera to the side over here again. And I'll put these bolts back in the caliper. Just put them both in loose to start with, till you get both holes lined up. Screw them in till they touch. Nip them up with the ratchet. Just a bit of a nip up by hand. Now there is a proper torque setting for these bolts. I'm not going to use it. I have a lot of faith in my hammer fist to tighten these up. It's as tight as they were when I undone them. Probably a bit tighter. I don't know, it's got some fresh Loctite on them. Get this bottom one down here. That's nice and tight. Now I'll move the camera over here. I'm not sure if you're going to see it or not, but I will pump the brakes. And you should see that gap between the calipers close up. Let's just see if that will shine a bit of light in there. Not sure what you saw then, but I could hear it actually making the brake surface. So there you go, that's one side done, and it's just a replete on the other side. It's a pretty simple process, especially for the rears. Front's a lot more difficult, but if this doesn't fix my shutter problem, I will do another video of front brake disc replacement. I had a look at my pads when I had it out. The pads are excellent, in really good condition, nice and flat, so I didn't actually adjust them or sand them back at all. Now I'll just put this wheel back on. You can see I've got the wheel under the car here. For added safety, I always put the wheel under the car. Some people don't do it. It's just something my dad taught me years ago. You can never be too safe. I'm a big bastard. These are heavy freaking wheels too. Alright. Yeah, that's not me doing that, that's some other car down the street making that burnout noise. Just unzip them up loosely. I'm going to use a wheel brace on these anyway. Alright, just nip them up a bit while the wheel's still in the air. Make sure you follow the correct tensioning pattern on these. Alright, then I'll let the car down. And then go about tightening these up in the correct pattern, the star pattern. Did that one already? Must be this one. Once you've done them, I just generally go around once more just to make sure you haven't missed any. There we go. Job complete. Now going to the other side, but I don't need to film that because you've seen this side already. So there you go, pretty simple process. Either change the discs on your Jeep Grand Cherokee or any car for that matter. That's the process you follow. Definitely looks a lot better with those drilled and slotted rotors on there than it did what I had before. So there you go, hope you enjoyed the video. Righto, there we go. I reckon this side, the first side I started, probably took me maybe, I don't know, 10-15 minutes because of all the talking during the video, all the pausing until I reposition cameras. This left side I just finished just then, I reckon 5 minutes tops. Longest bit was probably taking the wheel nuts off, jacking the car up. Everything else come off really easy, went back on really easy. You can see the drilled and slotted rotors in there. Really easy to do, really cheap process to do. Way cheaper than getting your disc machined. My next choice will be, if I have issues with braking still, I'm going to take these front ones off and replace the front. I may even replace the front anyway, just so they're all the same. Anyway, there you go. That's rear disc replacement on a 2005 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Hope you enjoyed it.